That was close. You just missed me. What's up, everybody? This is Gunter Severlow. This is version 117 of my Desert Ops Run Tactical Arena. I want to show you guys what was done. So let's go to the editor and I'll show you around. Alright guys, here we are in the editor. You can see there's a lot of objects and I basically want to start with that. I want to show you something, and currently this mission has 1,961 objects and 665 simple objects, which is a good thing. And I tell you this because in my update I was using a module called the ZEC module for adding furniture to all the buildings. Let's turn off the overlay. So I was adding to all the buildings, and then I had to go back to each building and kind of delete pieces of furniture, just kind of leaving it down to 1, 2, 3 pieces of furniture per building. Let's zoom out here. As you notice, you can see these bump outs, and these are player start positions, and originally in previous versions there were only 4 player start positions. So you had one here, these 2, and then the one here. So I added 4 more player start positions. The idea behind those was to when you respawn, was to change the scenery, so to speak, and for the training purposes, when you respawn, you're starting in a new area. So it's going to teach you to adapt, teach you to seek cover and stuff, and not get used to the same cover or the same buildings or the same areas or even the same situation. The other thing I did, and this actually turned out to be a problem, and I'll explain why, but what I did is originally the mission was 8 playable units and I reduced it down to 4. And I moved them all to the player start position. So when the mission starts, this is where you start. I put all the player units together, and if you're playing co-op with some friends, there is still revive with the mission, so you could still revive each other. The thing is, now the issue that comes up is when you guys die, great chance, probably 50% chance that you will not spawn together. And that's not something I coded, because I set every starting position as a respawn point. So when you respawn, you don't know where you're going to end up because it's all random. Pass this idea to Ripjaws, who does a lot of the coding for this mission. I mean, I did all the framework. All this stuff you see here is what I did. I did little coding, but he did, let's say, about 60% of it. The idea was to have every playable unit, every player respawn along with, basically respawn together, and right now that's just not functionally possible, as we're not sure on how to do it. So that's one of the issues. So I'm just letting you guys know, if you play this with other players, then don't expect to show up in the same spot. It's perfect for playing solo. Now, as you notice, I moved the flag here, and starting off, I placed a lot of these walls here. These are concrete walls. Reduced the object count on the map. I replaced a lot of the sandbag walls with these concrete walls, because these concrete walls provide more cover than the sandbag walls do because of their height. And you can see I placed them all over the place in the various areas. Some spots weren't replaced. Each one of these walls are set to the player's height. So I'll show you once we get in game what this looks like, what I mean by that, because I want to show you guys a couple of things through MP-LAN on the parameters and some other things. So you can see the walls are all around, and there was a lot of sandbag walls around the villa here, which is this blue building. You can see it says villa. Don't worry, the player can still see, and so can the enemy. These were all set to a height where the player can shoot over the walls. Same with the AI. So it's perfect cover. So you can literally just crouch and, you know, have solid cover. So I fixed these areas up. I actually just got done, just before I started recording here, I just got done doing a bunch of things to this mission, like this. I replaced the tracks that were here with this this walkway. The other thing I did, which is on the other side actually, right here. There's something else I did. I seen this building here, and I'm like, you know, this would be useful to be able to get on top of this building. So I set this up so that the player can run here and get on here and, you know, shoot the enemy. And this is good for either fighting against garrisoned enemy, because they could be in the windows, on the roof, or whatever, and or enemy that's patrolling. They're moving around on the ground. So now you have another access area, an area to access to you know, defend yourself or engage the enemy. So a lot of different walls, different setup. There's a lot more cover, way more cover. And the other thing I want to point out is you may see these are called concrete shelters, and I put them strategically in various spots. You can see that I have them set up based on the openings. So I got one here. This is kind of a thin opening, so this is perfect for here. And these blocks are mainly obviously for cover. My idea was that you want to be able to go from cover to cover as quickly as possible without, you know, lengthy long runs, because if you've got the enemy on your tail and you don't have any cover, then, well, you're in trouble. So I have them in various spots. I found this bare wall to be an excellent spot for these, because before there was nothing there. I mean, you don't know where the enemy is, especially if you have garrisoned units all over the map. There's a little bit more in terms of using these I could do. I'm going to do them in another update, but I don't want to really add too much more objects, because I want to keep the you know, performance on the machine, because right now it runs pretty well considering. So I have all these shelters all over the place. Now the other thing is, let's take a look at some of the inside of these buildings. As you can see, we have these panels. These are called shoot house walls, and I got a lot of them. These were actually placed by the ZEC module. Some of these end up being totally enclosed, so I kind of opened them up and gave some of the pathways, opened up the pathways. So that's what the module added. Here's another thing I had to do. Before, I had these runways, these paths going right into the building, and I had to replace those with this setup, because I actually changed the building here. There's four of these barracks. These are barracks. I changed 4 of these barracks buildings because they were old buildings and all their windows were broken out, and because of that, it allowed me to have an option to where you could run right through from one building into and through the building. So I had steps on the inside here, but I replaced the building with a new building because I like to have breakable windows, and it's just a little bit more immersive to a degree. So you can see all these buildings have, these are all new buildings. You can also notice that I got some furniture in there. Here's another setup. Added this, fixed this up, added a stair here, and then we had this over here. This was another setup, changed transition before. This would go right through into the room here, and then you would have steps on the inside. I had to eliminate that and basically added the stair, moved the stair over that was here, and you know, kind of changed it up a bit, added more cover. So it's a bit more efficient in my opinion in terms of when you're playing on the map and training. And then we have concrete walls instead of sandbag walls. It adds more cover. You can kind of see some of the furniture inside. I added a table in there. So all the furniture, aside some, were placed by me and at the module. There's going to be quite a number of rooms that won't have furniture in them, and the some that do have furniture may have something like that, or something at the end of the hallway. Some buildings have more furniture than others. Like this room has a couple pieces of furniture. It's still makes it interesting. And they make good obstacles when you're running around inside. You can see down to the ground level. You can see I added a shelf here. One thing in there. Stack of bricks over here. Computer setup. And let's go to the office building. That's where most of the furniture is at. So you can see this is kind of a nice entranceway, a nice little setup for business or what have you. Since we're in here, there's something else I want to show you, which is this. Every player start position has one of these. This isn't a player start position, but what this is a notice board, and in this notice board is when you enter this trigger, you'll be fully and instantly healed, and that's why this arrow is here. So just remember that when you come into this building, you can also heal yourself if you happen to be injured. So all your player starts have these notice boards. You can see they don't have this, they have the same thing. I didn't put a little red marker here because it's pretty obvious. So every player start has them. So you'll be fully and instantly healed. We're going to start an MP LAN server, and I'm going to show you some of the new functions and features that you'll see in the parameters. Let's see, let's set this to noon. The garrison strength I increased to 104. Another thing is when you set it to no garrison, the stats will be turned off for it, and we're going to set this to manual so that we could spawn enemies on the fly. How player statistics should be shown. So you have your HUD, which is at the top of the screen, and then you have your action menu, which is a little hint. We're just going to go with the HUD. We'll get in the game. So we'll see all the garrison units spawn. I'm not really going to play anything, but I just want to show you a couple things. Normally, when the mission starts, you'll get this screen. You'll get this menu, and then you'll see the tasks at the top of the screen. What I did was I turned off the notification for the tasks so that the tasks are done silently. So we're going to set these guys up. I'm going to go to spectator. Yep, 104 garrison. Go to spectator. And by the way, we have an intro. Added an intro script. So we have 104 garrisons. I actually had it up to 150, but the mission was kind of lagging with all the objects because I had close to 3,000 objects. And then I had 150 garrison, which I was getting 47 FPS, which is still playable. But some other issues started happening where I couldn't spawn in enemy patrols after a certain amount of time. So now for the garrison, what I want to point out is because of all these different objects that I place with the furniture and the walls and stuff, I'm finding that there are a lot more enemies on the roofs, as you could tell. I mean, holy shit. And these are random. I don't know where these guys are going to show up. You could even just see where they're at. Man, I've never seen so many guys on a roof. I mean, so you're gonna find more enemies on the roof and in spots that you never seen them in before. Spots like that. Inside. Got guys inside there. And you could see with the wall where this guy is at in relation to the wall. Like, he could literally shoot over the wall. I'll show you myself once I get moving. So you got enemy all over the place. You might find some enemy that are like standing next to each other, like these guys. It's a given, but whatever. It's still cool. It's still fun. And these guys, you gotta watch out because they got a height advantage. They will turn around and shoot down at you. So don't think that, well, they can't see me from up there. Well, they will. They will, believe me. With 104 garrisons, this mission is rather challenging, so you really have to kind of step up your game and work on tactics and stuff. Yeah, you got a few inside. Oh, by the way, I added some furniture here. This is actually using the module. The module created this. So you can see, like I was saying, in relation to the wall, this guy could literally shoot over it. I did that for every wall. I was working on this overhaul for a whole week and just finished it just before I started recording this video. Alright guys, let's head back here. I want to kind of show you these walls, but we're gonna have to be careful. I'm not running my A3 war mod though. Yeah, you don't know where these guys are at. So you can see the guy is pretty much right over the wall. That's perfect. Every wall that I placed, I had a unit that I placed and put the guy next to the wall to make sure that the height was perfect like that. And I plan to get myself shot because I want to show you something else. I got some furniture in there. One kill. And you got some furniture in there. A little immersion there for you. This is a tricky spot right here because there's sometimes I get killed because you gotta watch those windows and then you got possible enemy in here. Yep, he just revealed himself. I think I got him. Yep. There we go, we got him. So we got some furniture here with a coffee table. Alright, we got a guy in here. Oh, see it? Right there. Got a guy up there. Can't really shoot him. That was close. He just missed me. Got him. Shit. Where did that go? Oh, he was on the roof. See him? See him right there in the right corner through the window? Yeah. I wasn't really trying anyways. Alright, so the other thing I want to show you is I reduced the respawn time from 2 seconds to 1. So you can see it goes a little bit faster. So you can see we respawn somewhere else. Yeah, this time we respawned on the right. Alright guys, I want to conclude it with that. Thanks for watching. I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye.